Hello, investors. It is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Tuesday, November 19th, 4:41 p.m. Eastern Time. Coming to you with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, we have the green uptrend. And if we take a look over here at the trend gauge, we have the four coveted green arrows. Market leaders can't ask for much more, acting phenomenal. Short term, the Qs, S&P, smalls, all reclaiming the 21-day with force today. Medium term, we're trending above the 50-day. And then long term, we remain above the 200-day moving average. So today was a leaders leading type of day, and the S&P reclaimed the 21 as well, convincingly. So here are the final numbers. 21 over 21, up 3.38%. Some big moves in our 21 over 21 list. VRT, MSTR. I'll cover those when I get into the charts. 16 green, 3 flat, 2 red. Big 8 up 1.85%. RG8 up 1.24%. S&P up 0.4%. RSP down 0.27%. QQQ up 0.69%. Equal weight up 0.19%. Dow Jones down 0.31%. Mid caps flat up 0.05%. Russell 2000s up 0.75%. 60/40 stock and bond up 0.24%. And in-house GROTECTION having a nice outperformance day, up 1.8% on the day, with a couple positions in-house really cranking. So that's that. Let's get into the inter-asset correlation as usual. So starting with the S&P 500, and it's pretty textbook. 58.78 was a decently big level, and then that 58.50, which we've been talking about, pulp and intraday, and we gapped lower on this Russian-Ukraine war escalations. Looked like we were about to break loose to the downside, broke this 30-minute range, and we trended really nicely all day. So we held that, bounced off the 21-day as well. Let's take a look at the 60-minute. So now we'll see fill this gap up to 59.50 and see how it reacts, along with the flattening AEMA, which is at 59.50 as well. So that's a big spot to watch going into tomorrow. But overall, pull back to the 21 after getting a little extended is good. And the leaders were the big tell, and many of the stocks really just breaking out further today. RSP bounced off the 21-day as well. Got a declining trend line here. See if this can get back above, but the trend looks good. Trend is up. The Qs reclaiming the 21 as well and closing back above that 500 level. So this 50 and just right at this 503.52 pivot. So watch that tomorrow, and then likely picks a direction with NVIDIA earnings after the bell. Mag 7, talked about this breakout retest against the 21, moving higher. Dow relative weakness today, but holding the 21-day, this 50's coming back up, and it's still an uptrend. Not much to say about this one, but acting fine. Mid caps, super strong candle today. Big hammer off this 3,200 previous breakout zone and 21-day. So nice confluence there. And it was 4 days down into this level. So good action there. Russell 2000, similar thing. 4 days down into this top of the base and 21-day, putting in a strong hammer. This looks good for continuation up. ARC, similar thing, kind of pulled back, held the top of the base and back above the 8. So relative strength there. The VIX up a little bit, but still living below 20. The dollar continues to be strong, but maybe it breaks this frozen rope type uptrend channel, and this could provide some more fuel to equities in the market. Gold coming back into this 50-day. I don't know if this was up a little bit with that war news, but nevertheless, looks like the 21's about to cross below the 50, so that's not great either, but no relative strength here. Not really in theme, trading below the 50-day, not really watching this for as an actionable trade. GDX bounced off the 200-day. Silver, again, relative weakness. Bitcoin continues to flex, and this is, when you get these big picture breakouts, they can lead to big moves. And now it's 3 weeks up in a row. So maybe it cools down here, getting maybe a tad extended. Coincides with that 100K level on Bitcoin, but just super powerful. It's in that profit zone as well. Um, Total bonds just kind of forming a little range here below the 200-day TLT in a downtrend. Rates, again, kind of got this like frozen channel. So maybe if this breaks down out of this, again, similar to dollar, maybe provide some more fuel to equities. And same thing, kind of in this like frozen channel up here. So we'll see. So that's the inter-asset correlation. We'll take a look at the tail of the tape. And so, okay, so something new is we're adding the percent of stocks above the 5-day moving average. And we're adding this to the tail of the tape now. We kept it in the keys a couple times, but it wasn't a permanent thing. But I'll show you guys the indicator itself and what I look at for it. Not that one sec. Okay, so this is the percent of stocks above the 5-day moving average. And this is a pretty good indicator that I found helpful. And basically, how I use this is when this starts to get down into sub 10, sub 5, that's clearly signaling to me that the market's fearful. So you can see August 5th, that was that big yen carry trade fear. And that's when it really flushed lower. When I get back into the charts, I'm going to show these dates and examples, but you can see got super oversold here. This ended up being an opportunity. September 6th got, just about sub 10. This was an opportunity. And then Friday, this hit 10 as well. And the action the last 2 days shows that provided an opportunity. So basically, when this starts to get down here, if there's leadership, if there's stocks setting up, you want to be on the lookout for potentially adding exposure, right? You see stocks that are strong, near highs, consolidating on light volume. That could be your cue. And then up here, if the market's getting a little extended short term, you have nice 20, 25, 30% gain on a name. It's hitting that pivot plus level. It's a little bit extended from the moving average. This could be a spot to trim into strength. So kind of zigging when the market zags and using this, I found it to be quite helpful. And that's why we're adding it into the tally tape to help you guys. But, this is just hooking back up. So this has room to get all the way back into overbought. And the 5-day moving average is a shorter term moving average, obviously. But so yeah, that's how I use it. I found it very useful. I use bar chart to use this, and they have a bunch of other ones. They have, infotech stocks above the 5-day, but I found the NASDAQ comp above the 5 the most helpful. And then we'll just take a look to show, look at the S&P 500. So I mentioned that August 5th low right here. This proved to be the bottom for the market. And, you had confluence here as well with like the 200-day moving average, some support here. So if you're looking to buy leaders here, they likely treated you well. And then we also had September 6th, right? Looked really bad, but the market was getting very short-term stretch to the downside. If you're finding leaders here, the market stages a nice upside reversal, and you likely catch a nice move on whatever stocks you traded. So that will be added moving forward and helps us at Revere, and hopefully it helps you guys as well. So that's that. All right, back into the tale of the tape. News. So Russia and Ukraine tension that prompted the gap lower. We opened up about down 0.5%, and we almost broke lower in the first 30 minutes of the day, but we found support. This looked like a nothing burger, and it was, especially when you looked at crude oil. Crude oil was flat to red when this was hitting the news wire, and usually crude would be up, but so as that looks like there's no further escalation. And then the big thing tomorrow is NVIDIA reports after the bell, so that likely moves the market. Keys, we held that 58.50 level today. That's good. And then we're watching that 59.50 level. Qs as well held down here, and then mids reclaimed the 21. So tomorrow, still watching these levels, and then watch the S&P, the Qs, and the mid caps against the flattening AEMA. So that'll be a big tell on any bounce. Hopefully, it can reclaim that. 3 days day count up 1, 3 days below the 8, 2 days above the 21. Sectors wise, uranium, software, Bitcoin, tech, semiconductors, all pretty strong. And then weakness, China continues to just be bidless. Financials were strong or weak, regional banks, oil services. In-house, we just sold that RSP ad and then we used those proceeds to add a little bit more to our SSO position. And bottom line, S&P 500 reclaims the 21 EMA and leaders flex. So let's get into some charts. There we go. Yeah, so we'll take a look at 21 over 21 and kind of talk about the actions. So VRT, they had an analyst day yesterday, and this is just super powerful. We own this in-house, breaking out of this tight flag, up 15% on huge volume, and this continues to act like a very strong leader. Can't ask for more. It got a ton of price targets this morning as well. MSTR, this one is the horse for Bitcoin exposure, up 12% on big volume again today. And this is just, this is just ripping pretty hard. We own this in-house as well. And this, look at the weekly, we talk about these big base breakouts. These can lead to big moves and it's doubled out of this base breakout. So this one continues to be strong. Toast, another awesome one. Another fintech name, and really crypto, fintech, software. Those are the best sectors to be right now. So many stocks in each of those sectors, and you just continue to see them breaking out and hitting new highs. Reddit, another strong one. We own this in-house, broke out of this flag. Nice upside reversal. A-Lab, again, similar chart to Reddit and getting back above those, IPO highs and about that high volume close from the earnings gap day. This one looks great. We own it. NVIDIA, we own it as well. Everyone was getting bearish semiconductors, but it undercut and reclaimed this 140 spot back above the 8 and 21. Obviously, earnings tomorrow after the bell. And the good thing is this hasn't ran recently into earnings. So this is, a 6-month base going into earnings. So the setup's better for a gap up. Bros, another name in-house, breaking this continuation flag off the 8. And what you'll see is this similar chart, big moves up, pull back to the 8, flagging out, moving higher. It's definitely a setup theme we're seeing right now. Team, another software name, continuing higher, riding the 8. See Celestica, again, broke out of this flag, moving higher. Palantir, no give back, riding the 8. This one's very strong. LNG breaking out in this natural gas basket, and definitely these natural gas names are coming out of big weekly patterns, and this one looks really good. I covered the other ones in the podcast if you guys want to go back and watch. Tesla, super tight inside day right below this 350 spot, which is the high volume close from this kind of gap here. You can see that with the volume, but this one continues to act well. And above 350, I don't really see too much resistance holding this back into all-time highs. And big picture, just really nice monthly breakout. So monthly, weekly, daily, all aligned for this one. We'll see if it can break out through 350 tomorrow. Carvana just consolidating at highs. Great looking chart. Sprouts Farmers Market continues to trend higher. Bitcoin just continuing higher, super strong. XPO setting up a flag here against the 21-day. Quilio, nice to see this one start to consolidate a little bit extended. So, a little base would be nice to offer an opportunity. Dell, some this flat base here. Deckers just continues to build higher lows. SMR, the leader for nuclear, and continues to trend higher, building higher lows. And this was a pretty tight candle today, setting up for a breakout. And then ERX Energy pulling back a little bit today, but overall still looks good. Kind of trying to break out of this base here. And then take a look at some of the big 8. Mentioned NVIDIA, Netflix pulled back to the 8. Everyone was talking about how they wanted to short this because, the coverage for the Mike Tyson fight, it was lagging a little bit, but kind of gap lower a little bit, but got support and moving higher. Google showing starting to build some more higher lows, and this looks fine. So the one thing is Amazon as well, pulling back to this 200 spot, holding. Meta, the low end of the base, Microsoft, you know, big support down here, downtrend line, and then Apple as well in the space. So one thing to note is, you look at Apple, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Google, all these have quite some room to the upside. So that could be another catalyst for tech if these start to firm back up and get into new highs. That could really send tech flying even higher. Another data center name that I want to mention today, Coherent, super strong reversal off the 50-day moving average today. And this one, big picture, this one's got a great weekly chart. And really, if it continues to hold above 100, this one looks great. Strong action there. And then, yeah, I mentioned you've seen IBIT for Bitcoin. It's IGV, this is software. Look at this nice huge run off the breakout and putting a nice reverse off the 21 day. And you have names like APP, Datadog's one I wanted to mention today. They got some coverage this morning. Some analysts rated them as a top pick into 2025. This one's trying to break out of this mini base here, and you have a big base right here. And then fintech, look at ARC-F. This has just been a monster out of this base breakout, moving super strong to the upside. And you have names like Affirm. This one's a monster. Upstart, building a decently tight range here, looking to break out, had a strong earnings gap, pulled back. You got SoFi, super strong one as well. Then one, this is insurance, but Lemonade, monster day today, up 17%. They had like some investor day, and this one's starting to grow into our liquidity requirements, so worth the watch. But look at this. This is another huge weekly base, similar to some other ones we've been harping on, Toast, Robinhood, SoFi. And I'll bring up SoFi. SoFi is another one. You can see weekly chart looks like identical to Lemonade right now. So, and then crypto, I showed IBIT, but Coinbase, this is another one we're watching closely. Tight inside day today. This one, after the election, this one shot up from 176 to over 300, pulled back to the 8 and this 283.48 prior base level. Strong bounce, and now it's putting it in a tight inside day. And if Bitcoin moves higher, this one looks prime for a breakout. The weekly looks fantastic. And then, you got other names. MSTR and Coin are the two main focuses for us at Revere, but you got a name like Cores that's pretty strong as well. So, I mean, there's absolutely no shortage of setups right now. Indexes aren't too extended, only about 2.2% above the 50-day. Stress test held against the 21-day, and factor in the great action from stocks and leaders today. Market looks very healthy, and we're, four coveted green arrows. We're going to continue pressing the gas until the market tells us otherwise. So that is everything that I got for today. Yeah, if you guys can always reach out. My email is connor@revereasset.com, and you can always reach out to Dan or Don at revereasset.com. Phone is 855 Real Wealth. That is 855-732-5932. And if you're ever interested in becoming a client, please reach out. And with that, I'll wrap it for Tuesday, November 19th. This is Connor Bates with Revere Asset Management. Telling it like it is. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.